Hey, yo, what's poppin' though? Here is Ray Dion, accompanied by my wife, and this is the very first episode of the Ray and Kay Show. Yes. I am, of course, Ray.
And I'm Kay,
Yes.
Queen Kay, also known as.
Yeah, that works. And, well, we decided we were going to do this and talk about AEW Rampage. I almost said Dynamite. Rampage from August 20th, 2021. All right. So, Queen K, anything you want to say before we start talking about the show?
I think we should just get into it.
All right. Well, the very first thing. Well, what was the highlight of the show for you?
When CM Punk made his comeback.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that. So we might as well just get into the show then. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, CM Punk coming back is an enormous deal.
Yeah, everyone went wild. It was exciting.
Yeah. You know, I just read, before we did this, I read that CM Punk's return had, registered, 114 decibels
Wow.
in audio. And if you listen to something like 114 decibels for about a minute or so, it'll make you go deaf. So think about that.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a comeback.
That really was.
Mhm.
We were all excited.
Yeah. And he's happy now.
Yes, you can tell.
He's happy.
Yes, he's extremely happy. You can tell. You can feel it.
Yeah,
Almost.
because I don't know if you watched WWE when he was there often, but when I watched it, it was like he was tired at the end. Like you could tell he just wasn't, his heart wasn't into it anymore.
He was miserable.
Yeah, like you could see CM Punk was not into it. Like he was still there and he was trying, but
He was losing his passion pretty much.
Yeah. So now seeing him here 7 years later,
It's like he's fresh. He's
Yeah,
new
like-
again.
he's like a totally different person. He doesn't even, because I followed the interviews and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
he did seem pretty miserable. Not a slight on him, but
Yeah.
he was just done with wrestling. Like he was totally done. He didn't want nothing to do with it. You know?
Well, I think his comeback pretty much made up for that
Oh,
last
yeah.
night.
Oh yeah, everyone was going ballistic. That's a big word.
Mm-hmm.
The so what did you think about the? Let me see my notes real quick. What did you think about when Punk? Well, the crowd was going wild, and he had cut a promo, and he had said that he didn't plan anything to say. He just went with it.
That was, for me, that was one of the greatest unscripted promos I've ever heard, off the spot like that, because you could tell it was real. It came from his heart, and he meant it.
And you haven't really watched wrestling for a while. This
It's
was
been a long time.
Yeah, so this is you're a complete casual when it comes to the wrestling. Because I've
Yeah.
been following Dynamite since it started, but you haven't. So, to you, this is your first time seeing CM Punk in a long time.
Yeah, it's been years.
Yeah, and you're not super into it, wrestling in general. I'm talking about. You weren't super into it, but now that you are coming
Mhm.
around to it, do you feel like Punk could potentially be something you would be interested in seeing now every week on Dynamite and Rampage? Or,
Very much.
yeah, you could see his star quality.
Yes.
You know.
I could see all of it. I find that he is so much better, and he attracts more attention now that doesn't have to be scripted.
Yeah. Well, Punk in WWE, he would go off script a lot.
Yeah.
That was kind of his thing.
But
He would
you
just-
could tell that in
but here-
WWE they were wanting to force him to be scripted, and
yeah,
he went against
forcing
it.
him to be a certain way.
He
yeah.
wasn't happy,
Yeah, very unhappy. And
and he's just so much better in AEW. You could see it.
yeah, what was your favorite part of his entrance? Because I've seen people talk about they loved how he went and hugged all the fans.
That I liked it. That and I
They-
really liked how the fans just went crazy
Yeah,
when they heard the song.
They
Come on.
There was a part of his entrance where he jumped into the crowd to crowd surf.
That was pretty good too. I liked it.
And
But it looked like the crowd was gonna drop him.
yeah, Yeah, he jumped right into it. Was you could see that he was just genuine. Like
It
when he
was.
jumped into that crowd, like he was
He really
happy.
felt. He felt a lot of joy. You could see it on his face.
Yeah, he was very into it. And see, I love how I know we're supposed to be talking about the promo, but we're talking about the entrance here. When he came out, I think I freaked out a little bit because I was like, "Oh my God, it's real!" Because I heard the rumors and I saw
Mm-hmm.
the hints because I've been following it. And
Everyone's been anxious about it.
yeah, and when he came out and he kneeled down on the stage and he just sat there for like a whole minute until the song picked up,
Right?
and when he stood up, you could just feel that intensity. Like you could see he was absorbing it all in. He was emotional for it.
Yes.
That was probably my favorite moment. That was a really iconic shot too,
Yes.
of the camera panning around him and just him looking around, seeing the filled United Center in Chicago, Illinois, just going crazy.
I
For
really,
CM Punk.
really liked it how he interacted with the fans and he hugged all of them and high fived them and
Oh, yeah.
everything. That was great.
Yeah,
It's like nothing was stopping him.
it's a total contrast to how he was
Mhm.
before, because you could tell he was miserable. But but now you could see he's so much happier. You know.
He really showed happiness and love towards the fans. You could see it. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. It was so organic.
Yeah.
Yeah, his promo where he said that he didn't have anything planned out. He just wanted to feel it.
I really liked
The
that
the
too.
the first thing he said, though, the first wrestler he mentioned was Britt Baker. He had said that Britt Baker,
Mhm.
like, wow, Chicago, you really know how to make a person feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh. Now, the week before, Rampage was in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is the hometown of Britt Baker.
Mhm.
Britt Baker is worshipped over there.
She's
so-
great though.
Oh yeah, but I think that was really cool of Punk to do that because like
Mhm.
that's his first promo in like 7 years, and the first real name he mentions is Britt Baker. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So
And
you were gonna say?
I was just going to say that I was probably the same thing you were going to say when he carried on with the promo a little bit where he told the story and
Mhm.
yeah, was that what you were going to say?
Well, I was gonna ask you how you feel about how when he called out Darby Allin.
Well, yeah, I was gonna wait to get
Mhm.
the story part out the way, but if we could go into Darby Allin if you want to.
You can
wanna-
tell the story and
Well,
then we'll add it into there.
Yeah, because this part where he was telling a story,
Mhm.
he never mentioned WWE. Now, WWE has lost a lot of viewers over the years, and like they lost me as a fan.
Mhm.
They lost you as a fan. That made you stop watching wrestling in general.
Right.
So, excuse the noise outside too. There's construction going on. Excuse me, but CM Punk came out and he basically said, you know, in 2005 I left wrestling, and now in 2021 I'm back.
That's all true.
And it was a slight dig at WWE. Well, it was a dig at WWE because he completely ignored them. But I think if there's one wrestler in this entire planet who has right to be upset with WWE, it's CM Punk.
yes.
So, but I love how he did it because he put himself above that situation. He didn't
Yes.
he didn't go and be fully negative.
He didn't let it overtake his
Yeah, it didn't
emotions
ruin the
and-
moment. He
No.
just went and said, you know, I left wrestling when I left Ring of Honor, and he cried the night he left Ring of Honor because he loved them, but now he's back in AEW.
And you know, I
So-
find that he remained mature and
Yeah.
professional during the promo.
Exactly, yeah. And then that gets to my favorite part. Well, I have a lot of favorite parts of the Punk return, but I think calling out Darby Allin,
Yeah. What's your thoughts and opinions on that? How did it make you feel?
it made me feel like I need to spend $50 next month.
It was that good.
Yes. I mean, we were going to buy the pay-per-view anyway, but
Mhm.
yeah, I can't wait. I am very excited to see that because Darby Allin and Sting up in the Raptors and Punk calling him out, and that's going to be an iconic moment there too. Like years from now, we're going to look back and say like that was a star-making moment right there.
Mhm.
Like Darby Allin, just watching him, Darby Allin with his awesome face
Yes.
paint on.
Speaking of that face paint, did you see that? That was a great job.
It was awesome. I really love the design, how it wrapped the branches wrapped around the eyes and stuff.
It's like haunted trees
Yeah,
on Halloween. It was great.
it was really cool. I like it. His skull design he usually has is really cool too, but I think that one
It was a beautiful job.
that one was really good. You could almost tell too. Darby was really into that promo because he was almost smiling a little bit, which Darby never does.
Yeah.
Darby's like, he never smiles. But I guess when Punk said, you jump out of airplanes and stuff, Darby was probably thinking, well, maybe there's a way I could fall on a bed of nails or something. Because
Yeah.
Darby loves to hurt himself.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Darby. I can't wait for that match against Punk.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Here, do you think that'll be the main event of All Out?
Because
Because Kenny Omega's fighting Christian for the
It's
AEW
possible.
belt, so
maybe.
because that's Punk's first match back.
Yeah.
That if it's not main event, it's going to be second to last, the second to last match.
Right.
But I almost feel like in Chicago,
Yeah.
that has to be the main event, like
it's,
CM
it's
Punk's
really
return.
it's possible because everybody's been waiting on it.
Yeah, like I feel like it has to be the main event. Like
Yeah.
it almost has to be. It's like the very rare occasions where I will say the title shouldn't go last,
Right.
and I think that's one. Like, because no disrespect to Christian Cage, that's one of my favorite wrestlers
He's great. Too.
ever. I love Christian Cage, and I loved Kenny Omega in New Japan, and I love Kenny Omega now, but it's CM Punk's return.
Mhm.
You can't, like
It's
there's nothing bigger than
iconic
that.
almost.
There's nothing bigger than that in wrestling right now. I mean, I the only thing that could beat CM Punk returning would be if Stone Cold decided to come back for a match.
that
that
would
would-
be really
That-
exciting.
That's the only thing that could top CM Punk. Nothing could top that. Like, there's nothing
Hint, hint,
outside.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, yeah, like outside of resurrecting a deceased superstar wrestler, there's nothing that can ever, like, Stone Cold's the only one that could possibly have a retirement match and be bigger news than this. What's happening? So,
Right.
but yeah, September 5th, CM Punk and Darby Allin will face off, which I'm very excited for. And what about you, though? What do you think for the match? Did you say your thoughts? I don't remember. I was just getting into it, so I lost myself.
I'm excited to see what happens. It's gonna be something different. It's gonna be great for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
CM
yeah.
Punk coming back. Who do you think would win? What's your guess? Darby Allin's pretty crazy, but CM Punk's really good too. I'm gonna
This
go.
is 50-50.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50 this time. Because, like, Darby can win and everything's okay. Because, Punk came back. Punk would have to, like, do a lot more training and stuff. Because, like, that
Right.
could be, like, the storyline that Punk is coming back. He's still new, so he has to train.
Mhm.
And he didn't get enough training in. Like, they could do a storyline with that. Or, not enough training, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I'm sure the viewers do as well. The Punk came in, he was prepared, but not prepared enough. Or
Mhm.
Darby can lose, and Darby could still look like a beast. Like it wouldn't hurt him at all.
Yeah.
He could win or lose, and Punk win or lose wouldn't hurt him either. I don't think so anyway. Because I mean, it's CM Punk.
Either way, it would still be good. It doesn't matter who wins.
Yeah, like, because CM Punk losing, you could do a lot of story stuff with that.
Right.
Like, because Punk is better as a bad guy.
Mhm.
Punk is better as a heel. That's my opinion. He was great when he's villain. He's a villain. He's phenomenal. He's great as a good guy too, obviously.
Mhm.
And nobody's gonna boo him in Chicago. But you could do the long-term story where Darby beats him, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, I lost to Darby," and then you could build up to like his next feud after Darby could be, I don't know, maybe he feuds with MJF. Let's just say MJF.
Yeah.
He feuds with MJF, and then like he continues down that road, You know, maybe he'll beat MJF, I think. I think if he loses to Darby, he'll win his next feud.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, it brings him down the road to eventually he becomes a heel. He becomes a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, you know, you build up another big star to face him, like Hangman Adam Page, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what I think. But like I said, too, you could have Darby. Darby loses. Darby
Mm-hmm.
goes ahead and, you know, he follow the same thing. Darby, if you want to turn Darby a villain,
Right.
it works. Sting's forever a good guy, though, so you would have to break up him and Sting. But I don't think they'll ever do that. I think at some point you could have Darby just carry on.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
100%. It could work any way.
Yep,
You
that's
know?
what I think anyway.
Whether it's CM Punk versus the Young Bucks or anything like that, it could work. I think it would be great.
I would love to see Nick Jackson fight CM Punk.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Because Nick Jackson does that knee strike Nick does in the corner.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw when he hits that knee strike, but
Mhm.
that's CM Punk's move, that knee strike, and then he does that bulldog.
Yeah.
That's CM Punk used to do that all the time. So
Yeah.
at the end of CM Punk's promo on Darby, you know, he did a little promo hyping up their match, and
Mm-hmm.
on his way out the ring, he came and grabbed the microphone and gave everybody free ice cream
Yeah.
bars.
How do you feel about that? It was-
Now, I don't know if you saw in WWE where he did that. He made that little throwaway line to
I've
Vince
seen
McMahon.
something about it.
Yeah, he made
Yeah.
a throwaway line to Vince McMahon where he was said, I think it was a contract signing he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
because he was leaving WWE for real.
Yes.
But in storyline, they wanted to make it a thing, so he had said a little throwaway line about, "Why don't y'all make CM Punk ice cream bars?" You know, because
Right.
CM Punk wasn't on like none of the merchandise. It was all John Cena,
Mhm.
and it was all The Rock. It was never CM Punk, and that annoyed him because he knew he was the most popular wrestler.
Mhm.
I think at one point he was outselling John Cena in merch, so people loved CM Punk, and that was what his line was supposed to be a reference to. Like, why don't we have ice cream bars? Why isn't my face on the
Yeah.
cups? So I think it's awesome that that throwaway line finally got
It really
fulfilled.
is. It was awesome. You know,
Yeah.
it was awesome that
And everybody in the building got a nice dessert. Yeah, it's great.
a treat to go with the great show.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I have no complaints. And also when he undid his hoodie and had that new shirt, I mean, that shirt was pretty awesome.
I don't know about you, but the ice cream bars made me hungry. It
Yeah.
made me want to eat ice cream.
Yeah, the ice cream, it looks great too.
Mhm.
Like you know that those package people are trying to sell the package on eBay for like $50, just
Yeah.
the packaging.
The free ice cream.
Yeah, just you knew it was happening.
Yeah.
I've seen people already trying to sell the CM Punk "I Was There" shirts that he had on.
Mm-hmm.
People brought some and they were trying to sell them for like $300 to like $900. So scalpers, they're crazy.
Price gouging.
Yep, exactly, exactly. So after, well, they had a little moment where they cut to the commentary table and they showed all of them.
Yeah, they were enjoying that ice cream.
Yeah, they were going. Yeah, Taz took a big chunk out of it. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was really funny.
A lot of people said it was delicious ice
Oh,
cream.
they did. I've read a lot of comments from people who were there saying that it was very good,
Mm-hmm.
very good.
I think they said it was like vanilla bean covered in chocolate.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
sounds great.
sounds good to me.
Mhm.
I hope if AEW comes around where we stay, I really hope they do that too. Give away the free ice cream bars. I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
would be
Ricky
nice.
Ricky Stark. Oh no, Ricky Starks is from New Orleans. So if they come to New Orleans area, we could go ahead and he might give away free king cake.
Right. Oh yeah, because Mardi Gras, New
yeah,
Orleans.
yeah, exactly. Ricky Starks is from New Orleans, so Ricky Starks is a villainous person, so he might think he's too good for that. But hey, you never know. You never know.
Hey, he might enjoy him some king cake, so he might.
Exactly. He might say, "Hey, well, all the people in New Orleans get a nice piece of king cake ice cream bar.
Right?
Yeah, for free."
Yeah, because they do make king cake ice cream.
Yep, it could
So-
happen. Well,
Mm-hmm.
after that, we had the first match. In the first match was Jurassic Express taking on Private Party. Well, they had a little promo before that, right? With
Mhm.
Christian talking about with his Impact title, talking about how Kenny,
With
you
Jurassic
know,
Express.
yep, he was talking about how Kenny and how he beat Kenny and how
Right.
they're they're continuing their feud into the
Mhm.
pay-per-view and stuff. So, and he hyped up Jurassic Express to get the win in this tournament so they could face the Bucks for the tag team titles.
And they deserved
And-
this win.
Ooh, that was such a good match.
It was.
It was such a good match.
What did you think about that hit that Jungle Boy took?
Yeah,
to-
it yeah. I thought he was hurt. I really
Yeah.
thought he was hurt for real. That
It looks
that
like
shot,
he did get hurt.
yeah, that shot where he fell and hit himself on his head, that looked pretty bad.
Because you notice after the match, he kept holding his head.
Yeah, I mean he could be just selling the injury, but
Yeah.
it was really cool.
I don't know.
I love the end of the match, that finishing move they do. It looks so cool. It looks like something in a game. It doesn't even look real. Like a person shouldn't be able to do that.
I don't know about you, but Jurassic Express is my favorite. In my opinion, I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan of them.
Oh yeah,
They're great.
I love Jurassic Express. Like Jungle Boy, I hope if they like.
Jungle Boy has so much charisma, you
wanna-
can't help but like
I just
him.
want to go ahead and sing their song. That's all.
Yeah, the song is great.
We
too.
can't do it though on here because if
No.
we do, we're gonna get copyright strike. But yeah, like it's so good. Everything about Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express and Luchasaurus, they're just great. I love that they paired them with Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It just works.
I love
don't
their
know-
character.
I don't know why. It just
I love
works.
the charisma.
Uh,
I love how they are just great people
yeah.
in and out of wrestling,
Oh yeah.
and they love their fans,
Oh yeah. It's
and they know how to put on a good show.
oh yeah. Like Matt Hardy and Private Party, they were good too.
Yes.
They were really good. Matt Hardy and the Private Party. Matt Hardy tried to do a little moment where he was cheating, and Marco Stunt came out, and that's Marco Stunt got thrown off the ring by Matt. That looked pretty brutal. I ain't gonna lie.
You know why Jurassic Express is my favorite,
Yes, because you're the dinosaur.
right? I'm obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yes. But see, like the part where Matt threw him off, I was like, oh man, that looked pretty brutal. Marco hit that Matt pretty hard. Marco's a small guy, so everything he does looks extra painful to me
Right.
because I'm not a small person, so I can only imagine, and I like how painful it
He
is.
was thrown like a rag doll, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's always like that. Like when last week, I believe it was last week, or was it Wednesday, where Kenny Omega came out during one of the matches and hit him in the back with a chair.
I think that was
I
last
think it was
week.
Wednesday that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like everything looks extra painful when it happens to Marco Stunt. I don't know if it is for him, but for me watching it, it's like, ooh, that just looks bad.
Yeah, it did look bad. It looked really painful.
Yeah,
you know?
when Matt, yeah, everything's amplified, I guess.
Right.
But boy, that win was so good. Mark Quinn, of course, has a very unique taste in hair.
Mhm.
Yep,
He
got
looks like cotton
yeah,
candy.
that cotton candy hairstyle going on. I mean, I like it though.
Yeah.
It fits him. It makes him
It
stand
does.
out. I don't know what to say about the match. It was really good. It was just really, really good. I liked every second of it.
Yes, it was great.
It wasn't boring.
I have no complaints
Well,
about it.
I guess the only complaint I could have, and this is super nitpicky, is when he went to do that shooting star press off the rope and he like just clipped Luchasaurus a little bit.
Yeah.
But that he hit him enough to where it was believable that Luchasaurus could get knocked down, but it wasn't like you could tell he missed.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
How do you feel about that wedgie that Jungle Boy almost got?
Well, I tell you what.
Did you catch that?
I did, and I saw some people commenting when I told you I looked up for the decibel, the audio, how loud it was for CM Punk's chants. Apparently, someone said that 114 decibel range was actually for that part of Jungle Boy where his jungle bum was nearly out. So,
Yeah.
that was the moment.
That
So,
was really noticeable to me.
yeah, I'm sure it was because everyone got a good eyeful. Well, probably not because Taz and Excalibur on Dark, they kind of just say whatever they want. I could almost imagine Taz talking about that on Dark. People who watch Dark will understand what I'm saying. They have no chill.
They really don't. They're really outspoken.
Oh yeah, especially on Dark, where they don't have to worry about censors as much. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
well, after that awesome Jurassic Express versus Private Party match, we had a little segment where Kenny Omega and Don Callis, they were talking, and Kenny was dressed up all fancy and
Yes.
saying that we gonna wish you never came back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was talking about Christian, but the way Kenny was saying it, I mean, you could imply it's CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
They could imply that he's setting up a feud later down the line. You could imply that.
That feud would be amazing, actually.
Yes, it would. I'm pretty sure CM Punk would love to wrestle Kenny Omega because everybody wants to wrestle Kenny Omega. They love his work. He's very good.
He is
He's
good. He's more
he's-
than good. He's great.
He's very goofy as a character, but it works for him.
It's goofy, but it's funny.
He's anime. He's an anime villain,
Mhm.
and that's what makes it work, I think. The Young Bucks too. The Young Bucks. Yeah, that's something we should have mentioned. The Young Bucks were sitting out watching Jurassic Express versus Private Party, and
Yeah,
well,
that
you
was.
want to comment on their fashion choices?
They wear some very feminine clothing. You know,
Well,
not something that's my style, but
Well,
everyone has their own taste. So, there's that.
Well, allegedly Matt Jackson was dressed up like Michael Jordan. I saw on Twitter. So, at one point, I think during the Space Jam era, I'm not really familiar. I'm kind of ignorant on that era of basketball. So, I love that era of basketball, but I haven't really got to study it much. But allegedly, that's what he was going for.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Yeah, the Kenny Omega segment though. Kenny and the Bucks and pretty much the entire company likes to hint at things
Hmm.
like in very subtle ways where only the real hardcore fans understand.
Yeah,
Like you don't have to get it because if you don't get it, it's a surprise. But if you do get it, it's like I wonder if what they're hinting here.
hmm
So I wonder if Kenny being all fancily dressed, I know he said he was dressed up because the first dance was supposed to be for him,
right.
but I wonder if he was supposedly hinting at a possible Ric Flair showing up.
Yeah,
Because
I
Ric
kind of got the
Flair,
hint from that
Ric
too.
Flair's always wearing fancy suits.
Yeah, feathery.
Yep.
And
So the robes
sparkly.
and always
Yeah.
the real expensive suits, the tux and everything. So I
Yeah.
wonder if that's what that was like a subtle little nod toward.
Hmm.
I mean, hey, you never know.
It's possible.
You never know. Now, after this little segment with Kenny, we had Kiera Hogan versus Jade Cargill. This is a very short match.
Yeah, that was
Jade-
like it happened in the blink of an
Yeah,
eye.
Jade dominated. I mean, it makes sense though, because
Mhm.
Jade is very, very strong.
Yeah.
She's very strong, and Mark Sterling, her lawyer, is incredibly entertaining.
Hmm.
But I was kind of surprised they beat Kiera so quick. But then when I looked at the time, I realized it was like, oh wow, it's almost the show's almost finished. I was like, oh, okay, that's why they're doing it like that.
Yeah.
Because I figured Kiera Hogan would have did more. Because when
Mhm.
she wrestled Sheeta and Chris Statlander, those matches were great.
Yes.
In this one, it wasn't bad. It was just like she was just beaten really quick by a really strong opponent.
Yeah,
So,
you couldn't blink really.
yeah.
You
So
would have missed it.
I don't think it was bad. I like her finishing move.
Yeah, that was
She
cool.
held her up in the air for a long time.
Yeah, that was
So-
pretty cool.
Yeah. So Jade does look like a star. I think she just needs to be molded a little bit. What about
I
you?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because she has the she has the look of like a WWF Attitude Era China.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have. She has the presence. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
She just doesn't have. I don't know. She's just missing something. But once she finds it, oh, she'll be great.
She's
She will be
great,
great.
and she has a little bit of charisma. I think she needs to work on it.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. Yeah, that's like she's just missing something.
And not be so serious. Because I find she was kind of serious.
Well, that's her character, though. I believe
Yeah.
her character is that she's a very serious. Like I guess it's sort of a play on like China.
She needs to work
But
on her charisma
I
a little
think
more.
I think what she yeah, I agree with you. I think it's something like that. And her in-ring work, we couldn't really tell because it was a short match.
Yeah.
But usually she's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Usually. So when I saw her wrestle Red Velvet, you could tell she was still kind of green, but she was solid enough to where she could carry a good match if she needed to. A short match. So I think this works.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of want to see Kiera Hogan in AEW more because she was entertaining on
Yeah.
Impact. She was entertaining on Impact, but I kind of wonder what's going on with her. If she's going to be wrestling on Dark a few times before they officially sign her, or if she's going to... I was thinking she might team up with Jade Cargill at some point. It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, because, I mean, Kiera Hogan is a tag... They mentioned she's a tag team specialist on commentary.
I
So-
guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, I guess so, because that's what I would imagine anyway. So, anyway, after that match, they had a quick recap of CM Punk, and they announced that he'll be on Dynamite this week. Well, or is it next? Is Wednesday? He'll be on Dynamite
Yeah,
this Wednesday.
This
Yeah.
Wednesday. We knew what you meant.
Yeah, and they listed a few matches for that. I didn't bother to take any notes of who's going to be on the match because I figured we'll probably do one of these for that one too, right?
Right.
So
This will be a weekly thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, so or twice weekly if we do
Yeah.
Rampage as well. So yeah, that's about it. I'm really excited to see how CM Punk is gonna be on Dynamite with Darby and all.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we had a Mark Henry interview where he
With John Moxley.
well yeah where he was on the screen and they had the two screens and it looked like one of those professional boxing things where they had like this quick interview where the commentator was talking to the two fighters before their match, and Daniel Garcia, the Red Death, I believe that's what he calls himself. I'm not too familiar with him.
Yeah.
Was talking about, how he's going to go ahead and beat John Moxley, and then John Moxley went ahead and just verbally slaughtered the poor kid.
Yeah, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, like John Moxley. I mean, Moxley said he was good, like, and then he just said all the ways he was going to hurt him.
He told him that he had a better chance of getting pregnant than winning.
Yeah. He told Garcia. I believe I think I wrote it in my notes the exact way he quoted it. I could be wrong, but he was like Daniel Garcia has a better chance of getting me pregnant than winning or something like that. And it was like he was gonna squeeze his neck until his head pops and all. I was like, Mox.
Yeah, that was a little much.
Yeah, you might. Yeah. And that match though was really cool. I really liked it, and John Moxley legitimately looked like he was out for blood with some of those
did
strikes.
His thing though.
He was really going for the shots there. Yeah, when I tell you what, I like the Mark Henry segments where he says that before the main event because he did it twice now. I don't know if this will be a thing they keep doing, but I really like it. I like how he goes, well, it's time for the main event. I really like that. But what about you?
I really like how John Moxley did that match. He really went out there and he owned it and did his thing.
Oh, yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah. And, hey, Daniel Garcia is no slouch either. He kind of reminds me of Zack Sabre Jr. Now,
None of them, they weren't playing around.
Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Zack Sabre Jr. I'm not really into that style. I'm very, very much a strike-based person. If I was a wrestler, I would be a brawler.
Yeah.
I've always told you this. But, hey, Garcia is very good technically. He did some pretty cool stuff. I didn't really think he would go for a lot of that stuff. But how about that ending, though, where he had, like, this submission hold on Mox, and then Mox caught his head and, like, was trying to pull his spine out his body.
That looked painful.
Like, I have no idea how he survived that for real, because that looked so painful.
If that were me, that would have killed me.
That looked at like something it looked at like something from Mortal Kombat, just without the gore. Like, he caught him, and it was like we were like a second away from seeing a fatality.
Yes.
That was a very awesome submission from Mox.
It was.
And then after that, Moxley won, and 3.0 jumped in the, or is it 2.0? I think I put 3.0 by accident, but I think it's 2.0. Had gone in the ring to beat up Moxley, and they had a little bit of a brawl, and then Darby and Sting came out.
Yeah, it was
and
really great. It was.
Oh yeah, they were all just going at it with Daniel Garcia in 2.0, and then Darby hit the Stinger Splash, which was the Stinger Splash, excuse me, the Scorpion Death Drop, which is awesome. That made the child in me pop out, and then we had Darby hit the Coffin Drop, which I'm sure made your father go ahead and go, wow, that was awesome. That was cool.
Yeah, he really liked it.
No, yeah, so I mean, everybody loves the Coffin Drop. So yeah, Darby stood tall. The camera was focused on Darby. I believe they even played Darby's music to close the show. They had this really cool pose of Darby and Sting and Mox and Kingston all together. So
yeah,
that was Rampage after.
Yeah,
it
was a great show.
And that's perfect. You have Darby stand tall at the end of the show. That just makes everyone excited to want to see how Punk is going to say on Wednesday, how they're going to interact. So, well, overall, what you thought of that match?
I thought it was great. I mean, I have no complaints about it whatsoever. It was very entertaining.
What about the end of the show?
That one too. That was entertaining. It makes me want to see more. I was really sad when it was the end of the show. I wanted it to keep going.
And this is a casual fan, folks. See, she is not a super mega fan like I am. So AEW is doing its thing. They're bringing in new fans. They're bringing in new fans.
They definitely won me over.
Yep, bringing in new fans. May their momentum continue into the future.
I can't wait to see what else they have up their sleeve.
I don't know what else really could top CM Punk.
You never know.
I mean, I don't know what'll ever. I don't think that moment will ever be topped.
No.
The only way they could top CM Punk would be if they build up a big, humongous megastar. Like, say Hangman Page becomes like a ginormous megastar for AEW, like crossover, mainstream appeal, etc. And then he retires. Him coming back would be the only moment I think that could beat this.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time, and I don't mean this to be negative toward WWE, but at this point in time, I don't see the next big megastar coming from them.
No.
I don't see anyone after John Cena. I just don't. No. Like, John Cena was the last megastar I think WWE ever made. Well, Batista as well, but John Cena was more made than Batista.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I watched him, so in my opinion, that's what I think. But I think the next big star is going to be from AEW.
Right.
And it's probably going to be Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
Or Darby Allin. Or Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
It's a strong possibility for all of them.
Or MJ. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, all those guys, they're all allowed to do their thing, and
they're happy.
They
can be themselves.
Yep. And now with Punk saying he's there to help the young talent and stuff, and I mean, come on.
It doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't get any better than that. So yeah.
All in all, the show was great, and we had a lot of positive things
to
say about it.
Anything negative? Oh, well, the only negative I think I could have is that TNT, but this is TNT, not AEW. TNT has a lot of ads.
Yeah.
I could understand why, because they did cut some ads in the beginning to let Punk talk, which they should have anyway, so that's great. But I feel like, yeah, they probably one or two commercials too many on certain commercial break slots, one or two too many.
During Jungle Boy and Private Party's match, there was a lot of commercials.
Yeah, and they went on long. That's my thing. Like, I'm not against a lot of short ads if they're short and sweet.
Yeah.
But like, some of them went a little too long. But that's TNT's problem, not really AEW. TNT, I'm pretty sure they just put a lot of ads because they were like, well, crap, CM Punk's back. We're gonna capitalize on this, like, let's get all the ads out there. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the mindset. So, or I don't know, I don't work in TV. Maybe that wasn't the mindset at all. Maybe they were just like, well, we promised this many sponsors we were gonna air their ads, so we got to do it.
Yeah, it could be that. They can't break their promises. They can't.
Yeah, especially when they
they
have
to air
and stuff.
Commercials.
Yeah, so I mean, hey. That was my only complaint, but that's a nitpick because, I mean, I didn't have any trouble. But I don't They have picture in picture, and I like that. So
yeah.
I
We
mean,
didn't really miss anything.
yeah. So I'm just overly satisfied. I can't wait for Wednesday. I want to see what's going to happen.
Me too.
So,
It's very exciting.
well, I guess the last thing before we close, I guess just to say, is there, as you, as a casual fan, Miss Queen K,
Yes.
is there anything you're looking forward to this Wednesday for Dynamite?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to the whole show to see what goes on. Nothing in particular.
One of the matches on the show, of course, Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. So I'm guessing that's your most excited part of the night, isn't it?
Yeah, I would like to see that.
You wanna see a snuff film on live television?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
She says, "Yeah, it would be interesting." I don't think that's what you want to say on
No.
these kind of things like that. But yeah,
I'm just joking, y'all.
yeah, I know. I'm sure they know. But yeah, Malachi Black, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm just excited for the whole show, to be honest, as well. I don't have nothing to say. I think we're pretty much done here.
Yep, that's about it.
Yep. So how should we close?
We tell everyone good night, and we hope that they enjoyed this podcast.
Yeah, well, our first. We'll only get better with time. So, without further ado, thank everyone for listening. Wish you all the best.
And have a blessed night.
Have a blessed day and or night.